My wife wanted an open marriage to explore, and now she's hysterical after her boyfriend proposed to her while I'm happily dating her best friend she introduced me to. I am sitting in my apartment writing this because the irony of my situation is almost too perfect to keep to myself. 6 months ago, my wife Lauren, 32F, convinced me, 35M, to open our marriage so she could explore her sexuality and experience life before it was too late. Now she is having a complete meltdown because the guy she has been seeing proposed to her, and she has realized she actually wants to stay married to me. Meanwhile, I have fallen genuinely in love with her best friend Cassandra, the same person Lauren enthusiastically pushed me toward when we opened the marriage. The whole situation would be funny if it was not my actual life. Lauren and I have been married for 8 years. We met at a marketing conference where we were both presenting on social media strategies. She worked for a major cosmetics brand and I was doing freelance consulting. We clicked immediately over drinks after the conference and started a long-distance relationship that eventually led to her moving to my city. We got married 2 years later in a small ceremony with just close friends and family. Our marriage was good for the most part. We both had demanding careers but made time for each other. We traveled together, hosted dinner parties, and had what I thought was a satisfying intimate life. We talked about having kids eventually but kept putting it off because of work commitments. Lauren was climbing the corporate ladder at her company and I was building my consulting business. We were comfortable and stable. About 8 months ago, Lauren started acting different. She became obsessed with a podcast about ethical non-monogamy and polyamory. She would bring up stories from the podcast at dinner, talking about couples who opened their marriages and how it strengthened their bond. She started reading books about open relationships and following Instagram accounts of polyamorous influencers. At first, I thought it was just a phase, something she was intellectually curious about. But then she sat me down one evening and said she wanted to talk about our relationship. She told me she loved me but felt like she was missing out on experiences. She had only been with 3 people before me, and we got together when she was 24. She said she wondered what else was out there and did not want to reach 40 with regrets. I was blindsided. I asked if she was unhappy or if I had done something wrong. She insisted it was not about me, that I was a great husband, but that she needed to explore this part of herself. She said monogamy felt restrictive and outdated. She had been talking to a therapist who supposedly supported the idea of opening our marriage as a way to grow individually while staying committed to each other. The conversation lasted hours. Lauren cried and said she did not want to lose me but that she needed this. She promised it would not change our relationship, that we would be each other's primary partners, and that this was just about exploring physical connections with others. She showed me articles and studies about successful open marriages. She had clearly been researching this for months. I did not want to do it. The idea of my wife sleeping with other men made me feel sick. But Lauren was relentless. She said if I loved her, I would support her growth. She suggested we try it for 6 months and then reevaluate. She said if I tried it, I might actually enjoy having freedom too. She kept emphasizing that this was about honesty and communication, not cheating. After weeks of discussions and against my better judgment, I agreed. We set up rules. We would tell each other when we were going on dates. We would practice safe intimacy always. We would check in regularly about our feelings. Our marriage would remain the priority. No sleepovers with other partners. No bringing other people to our house. Lauren seemed thrilled and said she was proud of me for being so evolved and open-minded. What I did not realize at the time was that Lauren already had someone in mind. Within a week of us agreeing to open the marriage, she announced she had a date with Blake, a guy from her gym who she had been talking to for months. She claimed they were just friends but that he had expressed interest when she mentioned our new arrangement. That should have been my first red flag, but I was trying to be supportive.